Sexual harassment can be defined as any unwanted conduct of a sexual nature, whether verbal, non-verbal, visual, gestural, or physical, directed at a person which is offensive or humiliating, or is a threat to his well-being, arising out of and in the course of his employment.
One of the primary reasons why victims of sexual harassment didn't come forward is because they are feeling ashamed. Feeling ashamed is a natural reaction after a person being violated or abused. This is because the victim feel their dignity had been invaded by other person. The shame experienced by the victim caused them to blame themselves instead of blaming the person who conduct sexual harassment toward them. In this case, women especially feel shame because generally they are often being blamed in sexual harassment. The sense of shame causes victim to keep the thing that happened to them, which is sexual harassment, rather than seek help by telling the truth to other person. Another reason why sexual harassment case goes unreported because victim fear of consequences. They fear they might lose their job. They fear their physical safety, and they fear they might lose credibility. The reason why sexual harassment is underreported case because there is common belief that people who had been sexually assaulted made up their story, and that's why the victim of sexual harassment afraid that the truth that they are telling that they are telling to the public will not be believed by them. And another thing that they fear is the person who conducts sexual harassment to them threaten them and blackmail them.
The first effect is emotional and physical issues. Sexual harassment often has a serious and negative impact on victims' physical and emotional health. And the more severe the harassment, the more severe the reaction. When victims of sexual harassment experience mental and emotional problems, it often leads to physical health issues such as loss of appetite, headache, weight fluctuations, and sleep disturbances. Other than that, sexual harassment can also lead to the loss of self-esteem, and it may even compromise personal relationships. Sexual harassment in the workplace can also cause significant stress and anxiety. Researchers found that there is a link between sexual harassment and post-traumatic stress disorder. The second effect is decreased company productivity. Sexual harassment can also wreak havoc on a victim's job performance and career trajectory. Fear and decreased confidence can cause some people to withdraw from the workplace and disengage from co-workers. They are more likely to be tardy, absent, distracted, and neglect duties. If victims of sexual harassment report the harassment, they may suffer advancement setbacks such as being passed over for promotions, being left out of key meetings, retaliation, and being labelled a troublemaker. Financial problems like lost wages and unpaid leave are also possible. Lastly, lawsuits and reputation. A company's failure to adequately prevent and handle sexual harassment can result in expensive lawsuits. In the past decade, we have seen some eye-popping jury awards in sexual harassment cases. As example, a jury awarded plaintiffs $17.4 million in a case filed by the EEOC involving rape and sexual harassment by 3 male supervisors at a Florida packing plant. Another example is $18 million was awarded in a case against a New York Global Group CEO for retaliation against his former employee after she refused his advances. A highly publicized case of sexual harassment can also damage a company's reputation and resulting lost business.
Once you realize that you are being sexually harassed or you are the witness of the indecent act, do not be hesitate to take a further step to prevent from this same thing happen again. Put back together all pieces of courage in you to make it successfully done. The step taken should be answering the 5WH question. You need to know what to do, to whom, and where do you report the case, when is the perfect timing, and how to gather the evidence. For why, whatever the reason is, it cannot be accepted by anyone because it tarnishes the dignity and self-esteem of an individual. Therefore, according to Twice Safe Software Solution on year 2020 in forensicnote.com, an article about workplace sexual harassment, it is stated that the victim must first find a way to speak out. This will provide both psychological comfort and encouragement for you by sharing the story in your own words to someone who can listen, to your relative or friends, or even dial a hotline. But it is crucial not to select toxic people as the positivity would be diminished. Second, document every incident in detail and keep all evidence because without evidence, there will be no case. The more detail of the evidence, it will show the behavior pattern of the harasser and together bring a stronger argument from victim's side. Document the location, period, date and description of each incident occurred. Do not delete any electronic messages containing information about the harassment. Make a copy and keep it to yourself and pay attention not to violate others' individuals and business privacy and corporate secret as you could be sued for doing so. And log your job performance because when the harasser is caught, the harasser may use excuses to forge your genuine accomplishment and deny any recognition you earn. Finally, make full use of the internal grievance system to file a complaint. For starter, the trade union that you have joined. Send a complaint to the court within a year if the company's top management cover up for the harasser. Besides, you can go to social organizations such as Awam and Hakam for their support, help and legal assistance. If the sexual harassment constitutes a crime, you should report it to the police in a timely manner to investigate the criminal responsibility in accordance with law. Plus, you can use mediator to address the issue as it will bring less pressure to the parties involved and their families.
In conclusion, sexual harassment is a pervasive problem at the workplace which will strongly influence the employee's health and work performance. It is a violation of human rights and will cause the victim to suffer a lifetime damage. This issue should not be taken lightly by everyone because the lack of reported cases does not certainly mean that it has not happened. Educating both employer and employees regarding this issue is the fundamental point in putting an end to this issue. Everyone should aware about this issue and never give up in the efforts of eliminating sexual harassment because it will not resolve if it solely depends on the government only. That's all from us. Thank you.